We're talking here about the progress report on the Toronto Ferry service. I took the liberty of, you might want to start my time.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I took the liberty of reading the contract between the City of Toronto and Damon Shipbuilders. It was signed by Howie Dayton last year, 672 pages. And I was actually quite shocked with some omissions, major omissions in this contract. This contract had nothing in the way of charging stations, shoreside infrastructure, or other docking facilities that would be required for these two new electric ferries, which cost a total of $92 million. One vessel was $47 million, the other vessel was $45 million, and I couldn't believe that a deal that was so massive in scope and financial cost had not a single word associated with charging stations, with shoreside readiness, with the massive amount of infrastructure changes that would be required to accommodate two electric ferries. So that was number one. Number two, I think a lot of Torontonians are still at a loss for words on how, City Hall and the public service spent so much money on these two ferries, knowing that we could have gone the hybrid option for orders of magnitude less. We could have even gone with low emission combustion ferries, again, for orders of magnitude less. I think this oversight is probably one of the most egregious oversights in City of Toronto history. And the fact that we now have to pay an additional $50 million on top of the $92 million for these two boats is truly unbelievable. And frankly, I think there should be a major audit done. How did this happen? How did Mr. Howie Dayton of Parks and Rec sign a deal with a foreign shipbuilder from the Netherlands without even asking about charging stations? What's going on? So anyways, looking at the rest of the contract, there's a couple other red flags that I wanted to call out and I think we should consider. I didn't see any warranty terms on these vessels in the contract. So I think a lot of people are very concerned because we look at what's happening in Kingston. They're having a lot of major issues with their electric ferries. They're having issues charging it. Now they have to use generators. Are we prepared for those types of issues with our electric ferries? What kind of warranty do we have with Damon to ensure that if we do encounter those types of issues, they will be dealt with properly? What about sea trials and acceptance testing? I saw nothing in the contract that suggests that the City of Toronto has the expertise to even receive and do adequate user acceptance testing on two new electric ferries using very new technology. There was no detailed performance benchmarks, retesting, certification. The list goes on. So I'm just very concerned, and I think a lot of Torontonians are also very concerned, not just because of the financial burden that we're dealing with here, 150 million, two vessels and the infrastructure and charging stations, but we don't even know how they're going to work and what support we're going to get from other bodies, especially the actual manufacturer, Damon, that if we do run into issues, that will be covered. I saw in the contract as well, the Damon contract with the city, is that we have a 1-year warranty, as if it's like we're buying an LCD TV for your living room. We have a 1-year warranty for $50 million vessels. Well, that's concerning. Maybe we should consider an extended warranty because, again, if we look at the Kingston example, they're having problems, and especially in a very cold environment like Toronto, we just don't know how these electric vehicles are going to operate. So this is all very concerning. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I still think that we should absolutely look into some sort of audit or post-mortem on how we got to this point. How are the City of Toronto taxpayers fleeced for $150 million for two electric ferries? It's truly incredible to think about. We could have saved so much money, even if we went with the hybrid option that would have been low emission. You could still reach a lot of your sort of net zero goals that way. anyways, that's my deputation. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to read through that contract.
Yeah,
You
it was a
noticed,
dry read.
yeah, okay. You do notice that Councillor Fletcher picked up on quite a few of the items that you noticed and have tried to
Well,
repair the
Councillor
damage.
Fletcher went viral because when she was questioning Howie Dayton earlier this year, 500,000 people saw that, and a lot of people were actually applauding Councillor Fletcher for asking him many of the same questions I'm asking right now. Now, granted, she was also in City Council when you voted to go for these 2 electric ferries, but to her credit, she did ask Mr. Dayton the same questions that I'm asking today.
Hmm. And this preceded me being a mayor. It goes actually quite a few years before.
That's right.
There's a long history of.
It's a long, sordid history,
I
and
know.
apparently I've heard this was almost a decade to get to this point, and
Absolutely.
again, the financial burden it's a lot.
Yep. Multiple times delayed, and yeah, one could go on about this history. Thank you for your time.